Kerala Blasters. We have Kerala Blasters head coach Ivan with us.
Yep.
So you may ask your questions.
Coach,
Yes.
a tough loss tonight. Your team played well, but conceded 2 late goals. It was unfortunate on your end. But what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, we are coming out of a very tricky, difficult period. Again, mentioning 1 week, 3 games, especially 2 long travels to Northeast, Guwahati and Jamshedpur. It's exhausted, really exhausted. And if you have only possibility to have 1 training session in these 7 days, and for us it's like 8 flights, and travel and everything. We were expecting tonight, especially at the last part of the game, that we get again some fatigue. Tonight also I have to praise all of our players to give heart, to give everything on the pitch, even some of them playing in the position that they're not their, let's say, a natural position, but they did good. They did very well. So them playing for the first time like that in that formation and together, it was, kind of nice thing to see. I think that we played even better than 3 days ago. Because again, but due to fatigue and everything, at one moment you start to feel that. And of course, we always know that game here in Northeast is a difficult one, complicated one, seeing the fact that again, Northeast playing the first game after the break. For us, it's the 3rd game in the 7 days. But again, these are not excuses. We wanted also to refresh many of our players that we lost in the last couple of days due to injuries and everything. So now we need to give some playing time to these boys, because most probably these boys later will have to play the last game and playoffs, and then you have to manage, you kind of feel disappointed because with all these organizations, fixtures, we were hoping that going towards the end of this regular part of the season that you can get the chance to prepare, practice and everything for the playoffs. It happened like the completely opposite. You don't get the time to practice, your players got injured, and actually instead of having the strongest team for the playoffs, actually are already destroyed before the playoffs. So that's kind of a bad feeling, really bad feeling that you are entering later the playoffs with like where you wanted to rock and get everybody ready. So now it will be a big question mark to recover all the players who have these issues after this short period, after the break and these 3 games. So hope for the best.
And coach, ever since the Super Cup, Kerala Blasters have registered only a single win in the
Yeah.
league. So does that seem like a problem to you going into the playoffs, that you guys aren't being able to secure a lot of wins?
Yeah.
Despite all the injury concerns.
Yeah, but look, let's say all the injury concerns apart, but if you say that us as a club, if you lose your goalkeeper, if you lose your both strikers, if you lose your captain Luna, if you lose most of the part of Lešković, you lose Jigson for 4 months, you lose Iban for the whole season, you lose so many players due to injuries, and every injury is like a surgery and end of the season, then you always want to try to find back balance with the players that you have. So after the Super Cup, actually what happened in the Super Cup that we couldn't get accommodation and training grounds guaranteed in Bhubaneswar, so we had to fly all the time between Kolkata and Bhubaneswar, for those games. Again, accumulating 10 flights in 70 days, it's not normal. You don't have time to practice. But again, it sounds like excuse, but on the long term, it accumulates many problems. And then you go there thinking, okay, let's just hope that nobody gets injured. Then again, you lose your really important striker, who was really in a good shape, Pepra. And he's also like surgery out till the end of the season. And then you try to replace certain things, you try to rebuild with the young guns, with the young players, but it takes time. But there is no time because the fixtures were there. So then you have to play the games, continuation. And even with the January, I had the feeling that everybody went back to zero, especially the players who went for national team in Asian Cup. They all got back, of course, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted due to loss in Super Cup. Then the clubs who didn't have national team players, they were playing better, they were more consistent. And then when many of us tried to get the grip back of the season, there was again one big break. And then after that big break, then you get these fixtures where actually you are, you have to deal with that, traveling all around, not being capable of practicing. And when you accumulate that on a long term, that's football of logic, You cannot achieve the results. So again, then it plays in your mind the moment when you say, okay, I'm in the playoffs, then you you're like relaxed. You know, you are trying, like, just take an example of some teams, like in January you are playing 70 days, you win the cup, and then you say, so why should I play now till the end of the season? Because I get the cup, I have my FC spot, so all the games till the end, it's like, you know. And with that format, it brings so many irregularities that going with the fixtures, you don't get that consistency, and losing key players. And for us, losing all these key players, that's heavy. You know, that's heavy, and we feel that, and we try with the youngsters to rebuild. Of course, I'm happy for them because they're getting playing time, and they're growing up. For all of them, it's like a debut season to feel all the stadiums, all the, you know, important feelings of ISL, how it is comparing to youth level. And so that's kind of a process that you have to respect. Of course, missing all these important things, but at the end, you have to deal with it. You know, we have to go. We have one more game till the end on 12th. Most probably we'll again have to refresh many players, because comparing to last game, we changed almost the whole starting 11 with the keeper. I think that only Daisuke Sakai was in the starting 11. All the other players were not there. So now again, we'll have to refresh, because that's the way it is. And going towards the playoffs, trying to get as many possible important key players back ready to play. Otherwise, we'll have to play with a team like tonight. So that's our reality for the moment.
Coach, results aside, are you pleased with the performance your side, particularly your young side?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it makes me as a coach proud, because you see the kids who are making the debut this season, especially a couple of them who were not playing on their natural positions. You know, Azar being forced to play left fullback, you know, Sora being forced to play right fullback, because that's our situation for the moment. Then these young players who are brave to step in, you know, to play the game, because ISL is completely different and higher level than the youth level, and that's the way it is. You know, even with Lara, that was his first game, still, you know, has to get some confidence, and that's the way how they have to grow up. You cannot avoid those moments, because for them it's a kind of big moment of recognizing football career on professional level, and I'm really pleased the way how they responded tonight. I think that we were well organized, forced our opponents to start playing, you know, with the long balls. I think we were covering good space, and then, you know, that kind of fatigue at the end, not being capable to solve that one situation of a long ball. Of course, as a coach, it makes you a little bit disappointed, because we were not, let's say, we were not played away from our opponent. I think that even the boys, they were pushing, and we had a couple of moments where actually you needed maybe more quality or more mature and experience to end up these chances. But at the end, that's how it is. That's our reality. We have to go and face the last opponent on 12th and get ready for the playoffs if possible. Okay, guys, thank you very much. All the best.
Best of luck.
I wish you that you get in playoffs as well, as a sixth if possible, because now game in Chennai,
Yeah.
and then